IT Global 環業投資舉辦嘅投資攻略策劃子女未來教育儲備嘅專題講座，我就係今日嘅主持人咧，我哋啦，歡迎大家。我哋在座部分人可能之前都已經對 IT Global 係有多少嘅認識。IT Global 係創立於2005年啦，幫投資者提供一站式嘅海外地產投資同管理服務。到而家為止咧 ，IT Global 幫客戶投資嘅地產總值都已經超過25億美元，係覆蓋咗全球超過30個唔同嘅市場。咁IT Global 喺全球好多地方都有自己嘅辦事處，但係個總部就喺香港，所以大家一直都關注嘅就係香港本地嘅一個議題。其中之一咧就係香港父母對子女嘅教育真係非常之重視啦。咁從幼稚園開始。到小學、中學、大學，甚至好多而家要去海外求學，真係好緊張，每一步都要幫佢打算。我哋都會犧牲，可能犧牲自己好多嘅享受，就為咗幫子女去儲備一個教育基金啦，為咗佢哋可以得到更加優質嘅教育嘅。咁而家呢個目標可以話越嚟越難，因為如果大家關心海外教育，可能都有聽聞，而家美國啲大學有加價。好似 IUD 嗰啲咧都加到6-7萬蚊以上，所以多唔多啊？有冇人覺得係唔多嘅？我見到啲報道仲有話咧，因為而家學費真係咁貴，喺美國會有啲後生仔佢就選擇唔讀大學，去讀一啲專業嘅學校，因為成本真係太高啦。咁出嚟之後可能揾到嘅錢又冇咁多喎，咁就越嚟越多去讀咗啲技術學校。咁對於我哋喺香港嚟講，如果講個求學嘅話，貴唔貴咧？咁啊，梗係仲貴過佢哋啦，係咪？不過咧，其實父母如果可以早啲去做好個規劃咧，去了解、去制定一啲適合自己嘅投資策略，咁其實係可以及早準備嘅，都可以減輕家庭嘅一啲經濟嘅負擔啦，同埋幫子女嘅未來做一個好好嘅鋪墊。講起一個投資咧，我哋發覺其實喺1980、1990年代。初期嗰個時候，香港嘅市場都啱啱開始發展，咁大家係傾向於投資咩咧？就係一啲當然質素要好，但係最緊要係回報高，咁就係以股票同埋債券為主嘅。回報高就最好啦，嗰時覺得。但係咧，去到2008年金融海嘯，大家開始反思自己嘅一啲投資觀念啦，一啲傳統嘅投資觀念啦。咁回報高會唔會風險又好高咧？咁就同時又見到原來香港嘅市場係可以喺個樓市可以跌咗1/4，之後又 V 型大反彈，跟住一路升喎。咁開始好多人可能覺得買磚頭穩陣啲啦，咁越嚟越多人又想去買啲樓啊，咁又可以投資增值，同埋之餘又係可以自住嘅，所以咧就開始越嚟越多人可能會選擇一個地產嘅投資啦。咁樣咧，去到而家。咁個趨勢當然就更加多元化啦。而家呢個全球化嘅時代，資訊又好發達，咁大家外出又好多，咁周圍會去旅遊啦，見識又廣眾，越嚟越多人都會考慮可能送仔女出面讀書啊。咁海外嘅一個物業投資咧，都慢慢成為咗一個新嘅趨勢啦。大家可能留意到而家越嚟越多電視啊或者報紙啊都會教大家係點樣去海外去買樓嘅。當然咧，其實講起點樣投資，每個人嘅選擇都唔一樣㗎啦。今晚環業投資 IT Global 咧，就特別邀請咗3位係金融界、本地同埋海外房地產方面嘅專家，就係嚟幫大家呈現一系列嘅一啲投資工具，分析佢哋一啲回報啊、潛力啊。我哋都會有一個預設嘅目標，係一個投資目標，係作為例子，咁樣去幫助大家去分析點樣建立自己嘅投資策略嘅。幫我哋嘅仔女未來嘅教育去做好一個充裕嘅儲備啦。今晚我哋有幸請到嘅3位專家，分別係瑞銀集團嘅資產分析師林世康先生，歡迎仲有長益地產嘅總裁咧，汪敦敬先生，歡迎呢位就係環業投資嘅銷售總監。Jonathan Gordon 先生，我哋都歡迎咁就事不宜遲啦，我哋而家就開始我哋嘅正式進入我哋嘅講座。咁喺正式開始分享之前咧，我哋大家手上邊大部分人手上邊都會有個 iPad 㗎啦嚇。 咁樣就會寫住一個問題嘅。咁我而家開始第一個問題嘅投票。咁係會同喺屏幕上面都有顯示嘅一個簡單嘅問題啦。係為咗建立孩子嘅教育基金，我哋已經做咗邊啲投資咧？係可以多選嘅。咁依家我想請大家先撳低你哋嘅答案。哦，係繼續先。咁接住落嚟就有請長益地產嘅總裁汪敦敬先生。汪先生會幫我哋分享香港投資嘅表現。
因為第一部分係自我介紹先，咁即係如果聽過我講嘅，就應該知即係認識我㗎啦。咁我兩句自我介紹，因為我做咗地產30幾年啦，咁近年比較多評論樓市都準確嘅。咁但係問題咧就頭先阿林兄講嘛，嗰個唔投資係最大風險喎。其實我同意啊。咁我哋不如因為我哋得10分鐘時間，我哋講下地產係啲乜，或者起碼09年之後嘅地產係點？睇下大家概念同我哋做一個分享，好冇？嗱，我哋睇到我哋睇翻呢幾十年啦，呢20幾年啦，地產都係算係一個長升嘅投資項目。咁當然我哋見到紅色嗰部分啦，大家都知道發生咩事啦。咁咧就係一個咩，即係調整嘅階段。咁但係我哋睇到，尤其是09年之後，佢幾乎係不斷出現一個情況，就係整頓完之後再上，整頓完之後再上。嗱，我會咁形容咧，就係話09年前，09年係一個分水嶺。09年前咧，即係當然我比較後生啲啦，當年即係40幾歲，我40幾歲之前咧，係即係全球嘅經濟比較泡沫化嘅，泡沫同埋泡沫爆破，即係話即係話個經濟運作咧係所謂牛市同埋熊市咧，基本上係一個描述一個泡沫爆破嘅循環。咁但係09年之後唔係。如果我哋話09年之前係一個按揭泡沫為主嘅年代，或者70年代去到90年代係一個按揭泡沫為主嘅年代，09年之後我哋就冇咗呢樣嘢啦。我起碼喺香港房地產裏邊係冇咗呢樣嘢。咁我哋係冇咗按揭泡沫。即係大家都知嘅，即係話喺即係樓宇按揭上，我哋係冇泡沫。咁我哋一陣有數據去做個分享。咁首先咧，即係話我哋而家搞清楚個房地產嘅性質先，就係話尤其近年咧係不斷向上。原因咧喺冇按揭泡沫情之下咧，我哋出現咗另一個泛濫，就係資金泛濫。M3 即係話泛指香港嘅總存款量。咁我哋頭先我哋可以睇到咧，其實咧就係話我哋香港資金不斷向上，而按揭係不斷向下嘅時候咧，大家都可以體會到咧，樓價其實係相對上係易升難跌啦。即係09年之後同09年之前係有好多唔同。我唔想，即係我自己個人嘅理論咧，我唔想再用牛市同熊市去形容，即係香港而家呢個中國式嘅經濟模式。中國式嘅經濟模式咧，因為佢係以宏調為主，不斷將市場上泡沫去清除同埋抑壓。咁所以變咗咧，我就會覺得，我哋試下有另一個角度去睇，就係話中國式嘅經濟咧係鞏固完再上。鞏固完再上，鞏固完再上。咁咧就係即係話，如果我要分開中國式嘅經濟咧，只有2期啫，就龍市1期就會發放嗰個市場力量，龍市2期就會 做個調整。咁香港樓市喺2009年之後咧，我哋係出現咗4次調整。但係問題咧，因為每次樓價下跌5至15%嘅時候咧，好多人都用錯咗個價值觀念去希望個樓價出現牛市3期之後嘅爆破，所以咧大家都錯過咗樓價跌嘅時候咧，都錯過咗去入市買。咁所以我想即係話一陣我哋會講點分享賺100萬嘅時候咧，我首先搞清楚個性質先。嗱，最後我想講4點係一個即係話我用4點數去分清楚個市道究竟咩牛市，咩係熊市，乜嘢係中國式經濟，乜嘢係按揭泡沫。我哋想用4樣嘢睇。嗱，09年之後嘅市場咧，同09年之前嘅市場咧，得一樣嘢，四個數據，得一個數據相同嘅啫，就係呢個市值高。嗱，同樣市值高嘅情況之下咧，會產生咩事咧？就係話，我哋睇翻咧，就係話供滿樓嘅人咧，09年之後咧，我哋係不斷增加咗供滿樓嘅人。我哋有7成以上72% 嘅樓咧係供滿咗。咁同97年嘅時候咧，我哋嘅情況啱相反。97年嘅時候，我係30幾歲嘅年輕人，我哋係借好多嘅。咁好啦，第3樣我哋要知道咧就係供應量。97年嘅時候，我哋面對8萬5啦，而家我哋無論一手嘅盤同二手放盤量咧，個數量都係減少，係相當低嘅水平。咁仲有就係話個貨幣供應啦，貨幣供應咧，我哋而家係13萬億嘅，即係話 M3 我哋13萬億嘅，係遠高於97年嘅時候嘅幾倍。咁我哋用呢4樣嘢咧，就可以分辨到究竟市道究竟係按揭泡沫高啊，定係低啊？定係我哋錢資金多唔多啦？咁我認為咧，09年嘅經濟咧，或者樓市，甚至乎而家開始香港股市都開始走向呢個趨勢咧，就係即係話呢4點咧係兩高兩低嘅，即係話市值高，放盤量低，呢個資金量高，同埋就係話供滿樓嘅人會多。咁呢幾樣嘢，我覺得用呢幾樣嘢去檢查嘅市道咧，係會比較適合嘅。咁希望大家做一個投資嘅時候咧，要諗清楚概念係唔係配合一個時勢。我簡單講，而家個時勢的而且確係一個即係話我哋資金氾濫而按揭量低嘅情況。當然啦，而家借貸同埋貸款咧係即係話係個比例好健康啦，我哋啲錢係多過我哋借貸好多咯。當然我哋嗰個息口好平啦，收租回報率好穩健啦，喺房地產嚟講。我最後我想講講，因為時間有限，我揦住重點啦。嗱，最後我想講講咧，就係話嚟緊未來，我認為如果要投資地產咧，一定係要投資基建嘅大站。因為我哋成個中國咧都好似蜘蛛網咁，會充滿咗基建，充滿咗鐵路，充滿咗港口。所以我哋一定要揾條大動脈去投資。揾基建大站去投資。香港基建大站有2個，一個就係高鐵，第二個就係港珠澳大橋，即係所謂粵港澳大灣區。咁粵港澳大灣區當然係即係話西亞區為主啦。但係因為我概念係咁啦，所以要同各位講聲咧，我嘅投資同埋我嘅生意咧，都基本上係一定會係喺呢兩個區度會做嘅，所以俾一機會你質疑我啊。咁但係問題就係大家可以參考，即係我嘅意見啊，我嘅睇法就係咁。多謝主持人。
多謝汪先生嘅分享，咁都其實短短10分鐘好多資訊啦。而家我哋就有請汪先生去幫我哋策劃點樣喺5年內獲取100萬咧。 咁而香港樓市嚟睇好似容易啲嘅喎，係咪？
講之前咧就希望大家明白歷史就唔會重演嘅，不過咧就趨勢就可以繼續。我哋一研究下睇下發生咩事先。因為呢個題目冇講到用幾多本去賺100萬，亦冇講到所以我盡量補充翻，即係做一個假設，究竟1年賺100萬都得㗎。不過你用300幾萬賺100萬係有呢啲例子嘅嚇，即係你買屯門寫字樓1年前係可以升值未等於賺嘅嚇。不過點解我講個技術就係話佢賺100萬嘅嘢有冇喺地產度發生咧？咁買個嘉湖山莊2年前都賺過百萬，即係升值過百萬嘅。咁佢起手嗰個成本係40幾萬嘅啫。3年就起手成本就140萬嘅。呢個就30幾萬，起手成本就升值140幾萬。4年前買兩個車位就50萬鬆啲起手成本，都可以升值過百萬嘅。呢啲唔係特別例子嚟嘅，即係我哋即係呢個即係好多會發生。5年前如果買個洋樓喺屯門，咁18萬幾成本，因為180萬啫嘛，咁咧就佢就升咗成120萬嗱，即係話咧，如果喺發生咗嘅係發生，即係話發生過係發生。而家我哋即係話地產係有能力喺過去幾年係反映到唔同項目都可以嘅問題。我哋嚟緊要討論兩句，嚟緊2分鐘我哋要講下，喂個趨勢會唔會繼續？當然歷史唔會重演，即係話再發生會用其他模式啦嚇。咁好啦，咁我做多少少補充嘅就係話，如果你有人係儲錢買樓，喺儲緊嗰段時間內，如果用一個即係話組合式嘅投資工具咧，咁譬如話去買REIT 啦，即係話買呢個領展啦，咁話好彩買騰訊啦，咁佢就會升值即係增值率就會快啲啦，即係話即係呢個當然即係話咧投資組合咧，即係等於林生講嘅分散投資啦。咁但係如果係你係想為咗買樓而做咧，你投資組合似乎係配合房地產去做，即係如果佢升嘅時候，佢就會升得太高嘅時候，你儲緊錢嘅時候就可以追得切啦。因為如果你買翻房地產，你就會配合到咯。即係呢個，即係我都想同各位分享。咁我想強調咧，嚟緊我都認為係一個低息期嘅，無論會唔會加息幾多。我哋面對緊嘅低息期，即係話咧個息口係低過通脹好多嘅，係嘛？有好多人話縮表，既然你講個資金咁重要，即係話資金會影響嗰個現金流，又會影響加唔加息。咁我哋大家點睇資金咧？我就唔覺得資金會減少嘅，縱使美國縮表，因為佢淨一個國家縮，其他國家我睇唔到一個縮表嘅情況，或者美國宣布呢個縮表嘅時間表之後，似乎宣布量化嘅國家或者所謂降準，令到市場上更多資金嘅國家都似乎都唔少啦。咁所以變咗咧，我自己會認為我嘅睇法就係大家唔好理唔同 party 講啲乜嘢。如果我哋要判斷資金，最實際就每個月睇翻 M3 究竟佢升定跌。如果佢顯著上升嘅，即係話樓價仲有上升壓力。我哋頭先上次講嗰個4大因素完全冇變過嘅，同1年前一樣，或者比1年前更加嚴重。咁咧就係話，所以變咗我覺得，既然結構上冇變，只要有資金流再入，而且顯著嘅話咧。樓價應該，我認為未來樓價只要係資金繼續增加，好似過去1年咁增加嘅話咧，樓價應該仍然有可觀嘅升幅嘅。咁當然啦，你聽我講有風險嘅， 唔聽我講都有風險啊！咁咧就係變咗，但係問題我比較簡單啲嘅，即係大會叫我比較簡單啲嘅觀點做結論就係話睇住 M3，即係睇住資金流係增加定減少。我認為呢個就係未來判斷樓價會唔會繼續升定跌嘅主要因素。唔好理佢覺唔覺得貴，因為好多除咗覺得唔係市場因素嚟嘅，覺得係市場情緒嚟嘅，唔係市場因素。所以我覺得睇 M3 最實際同埋我睇法咁。多謝。
想問汪生先嘅問題，咁咧就係想問下屯門嗰度啦。咁因為我都好睇過嗰度，但係就想知道你嘅睇法。嗱，咁黃金海岸嗰度咧，我好中意嘅，但係就已經好多 developer 賣都好似好貴啦。咁 compare 翻邁亞美海灣咧，好似係即係話天即係好邊嘅位，但係到時個橋咧就喺嗰度出喎。咁呢兩個地方你睇會邊個係潛力大啲啦，或者邊個值得買啲咧？如果真係要買嘅話，咁另外就 general 嘅問題啦，就屯門嗰度 compare 翻啟德，你覺得潛力即係如果用 small amount 400萬咁樣成咁嘅投資，應該買邊邊係好啲？唔好意思啊，跟住我仲有另外一個問題嚟問龍生嘅，咁咧就我係絕對股票嘅初哥，但我又想用下啲現金嚟買下啲股票啦，即係從來未跌過，因為好似好驚。咁而家應該係買邊啲咧？簡單啲嘅，即係話譬如俾幾十萬去投資嘅，你覺得個方向應該係用買邊艇啊，或者係買幾多度，或者分咗分散？唔該晒。
係越禮避免嘅就係要講 number 咧先。咁我哋請汪生回答。
我盡量簡潔啊。我首先講即係每個你頭先每個點我講，即係盡快講好同唔好，但係最後都要你自己揀啦。青山公路最大嘅隱憂，或者令一啲發展嘅青山公路失望嘅咧，就係早2年屯門東繞道，即係話喺個港珠澳大橋嘅其中一個配件，佢係香單咗暫時。咁所以變咗咧，如果你買係純粹做投資咧，我會比較認為馬尾會好啲，因為馬尾海灣咧，佢喺港珠澳大橋因為一上嚟就望後石蝴蝶泳灘，就係美樂啦，跟住之後。咁但係呢個唔牽涉喜好啊。同埋就係話佢嗰個地段咧，因為我認為政府為咗補救屯門東繞道，即係本來係打通青山公路，令到屯門青山公路成為粵港澳大灣區嘅豪宅嘅，但係佢而家後來因為政治或者政策問題，所以攤單咗啦。咁變咗為咗補咗呢個不足咧，佢再做咗條11號幹線，而家提倡緊。如果11號線通咗咧，就變咗成個港珠澳大橋藍地西部通道去到深圳咧，就確定到佢絕對唔會塞車啦。咁但係屯門嘅東邊咧，可能將來會多少少隱憂，即係呢個我回應翻啦。至於話啟德咧，我認為係會比較優秀，因為啟德我唔係話比屯門優秀啊，但係我覺得都係一個好吸引嘅投資項目。佢嘅市場動力喺邊咧？就係我覺得似乎係即係話內地嚟嘅新香港人啊，或者即係話會係嚟緊聚居嗰度會比較多，所以購買力應該係會好強嘅。咁變咗就都係有得諗嘅投資咯。咁其他我交翻俾阿林生。
咁呢個頭先你話投資股票初哥啦，好驚啦，咁好簡短嘅答案就係唔使驚啦。因為點解？始終喺金融資產入邊，長期嚟講，股票嘅回報係比較好嘅。咁但係你頭先講話你個本可能有幾十萬啊，或者就算係少啲都好咧，其實而家有好多唔同嘅工具係可以幫你分散去買入唔同市場嘅股票嘅。咁點解咁講？因為始終今年我睇到 上去喺度，尋日 MSCI 中國升咗成50%，出年會唔會升多50%？唔知，好大機會唔會。有啲市場落後咗嘅，出年可能有爆發式都升40-50%。即係呢樣嘢其實係即係我哋盡量去預測啦。但係如果我話我擺幾十萬落去，我睇4年、5年、6年買股票嘅，我中意佢長期個回報嘅，咁其實到最後係有好多唔同嘅工具係俾你去買入唔同市場嘅股票，咁俾你賺到呢個長期嘅回報嘅。
邊幾個 ？Sorry 啊，都係頭先最重點係，你可唔可以講下大約大方向邊啲股票可以買咧？即係譬如話騰訊、阿里巴巴，定係其他啲地產股咧？
因為騰訊、阿里巴巴地產股，因為今日嘅局限咧，我就唔可以喺呢個場合講個別嘅股票啦。咁個別嘅板塊亦都之後可以同大家分享啦。咁好不同，因為呢個場合嘅 restriction， 我只能夠講唔同嘅市場嘅啫。
係啦，我哋私下有啲嘢，我哋私下講。咁下面而家有冇其他嘅問題係問我哋嘅嘉賓？邊一位？
I have a questions to ask Jonathan and Mr. Lam that for the Belt and Road, I think that is a very hot topics in the world market now. Is it better to invest property in Malaysia, Thailand for the Belt and Road because the future maybe will be good? And if I only have $1 million, then to buy the property in Malaysia or Thailand for the Belt and Road concept, or to invest stock is better. Which one is good?
Thanks. So, yeah, without doubt, I mean, those markets are going to be affected. It's quite incredible what the growth that's being driven by this initiative. But I think if we come back to your point about the sort of notional $1 million that you would look to invest, the major challenge with both of those markets is you can't borrow money. So why not invest in a market where your $1 million could mean that you get $2-3 million of exposure, and that's to do with leverage again. So in most of the markets that we look at as a business, it is the leverage that really adds that extra kicker that drives those returns. Because if you think back to what I was showing you with our project in Manchester, there were two contributing factors to that $1 million profit over 5 years. One was the income that was coming through, and the other was capital growth of the asset. But capital growth of the asset was not just your capital that you put in, but the whole lot. And that was a result of being able to borrow money. So I would encourage you, where you can, to borrow sensibly. I'm certainly not saying, you know, borrow as much as you possibly can, that was going to keep you up at 3 in the morning wondering what on earth you've done. But at the same time, look at these markets in a sensible way and think, okay, if I can get to a situation where my debt is being covered by my rental income, and maybe there's some surplus on top of that, then I'll let the capital growth take care of itself, because pretty often you don't have any influence on that. But what you can have an influence on is buying in an area where you can get leverage, and buying in an area where you know that there's not a huge amount of rental supply, so you're always going to have this predictable and consistent income.
And what I would add is that when you mentioned $1 million, I don't think there could be potentially a lot of investment opportunities in the property market without leverage. But when you talk about stock investments, actually One Belt and Road is one of the themes that we like. And not just in the Hong Kong, China market, but in South Asia market, where we can get exposure to infrastructure, to energy, to banking and finance. Those are the investment opportunities that we like. It gives us the diversification benefits outside of a Hong Kong, China market. And that certainly fits the example you mentioned in terms of the $1 million investment capital that you're looking to deploy.
我哋而家呢度都收到一啲下邊嘅朋友係有啲問題係想問嘉賓嘅，呢度有一條我估係應該問 Mr. Gordon 嘅，就係英國投資回報嘅稅率高啲咧，定係美國嘅稅高咧？即係呢個稅嘅問題。另外一個就係如果香港人去買樓做按揭，咁個利息個利率會係幾多？
Don't need my headphones. So, as far as the US is concerned, tax actually does vary according to the state. There are two taxes in the in the US that you have to consider, which is state and federal. Federal taxes are constant throughout the country. State taxes obviously vary between states. So historically, when we have been investing in the US, we've obviously taken consideration or made adjustments and concessions for certain areas that have more attractive tax regimes. So for example, the state of Florida has a very, very low income tax. That's why a lot of golfers and sportsmen are based there. Chicago is a market that we like. The state of Illinois, that also has a very low combined state and income tax. From memory, the income tax when you combine state and federal is less than 20%. So actually there is this myth that the US is a very high tax rate environment, and the reality is that's not necessarily the case. New York is a very high tax environment. The other sort of urban myth that flies around is that if you buy in the US, then the IRS are interested in all of your assets globally. That's not the case either. Or certainly not on the official line, but all they're interested in is assets that you have in the US, assets elsewhere, no interest whatsoever. Now in the UK, I think the question was what the rate of mortgage interest is. At the moment it varies, anything between 2.99 you can get as a foreign investor to around 4, so let's just say 3 to 4%, an average being 3.5, 3.6. I took out a mortgage, I used UOB bank out of Singapore to buy into one of our projects in London a couple of years ago, and from memory I'm paying 3.3%, so it sort of varies between the two.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. 咁呢度都仲有其他嘅問題嘅，有一位下邊嘅朋友係提高咗我哋啱啱嗰個投資目標嘅難度，就係話如果係70萬港幣嘅話，咁應該點投資呢？我哋啱啱係100萬，咁佢問嘅係70萬，咁就聽聽三位睇法，或者從林生開始先好嗎？
點樣賺70萬？點樣賺100萬？點樣賺200萬、300萬？其實到最後，即係喺我哋個角度咧，好難話買一樣嘢或者投資一個工具去做到呢個目標㗎。到最後都係頭先好似阿汪生講過，你用幾多本，或者你每年可能每年我儲到幾多錢，我有咩一個合理嘅回報，點樣去達成呢個目標？咁到最後都係大家計到條數。如果你話70萬嘅話，可能每年儲少啲錢，5年入邊或者5年內4年添就可以達到呢個目標。其實到最後就係睇翻自己個能力，有幾多本去開始，同埋每年儲到幾多錢。
其實林生，我諗佢嘅意思係佢用70萬點樣去賺嗰個啱啱我哋嗰個目標，所以係更加難嘅應該。佢用70萬嘅本去賺。
佢賺100萬。
係。
咁其實你計翻，可能係除翻你都係就咁一開頭70萬，你有一個唔係好高嘅回報，年內都已經可以去到100萬嘅一個位啦。其實，咁亦都係到最後，究竟可以承受幾多風險，同埋千祈唔好中間有啲咩嘢差池，忽然間跌咗20%。
有請汪生分享下。
如果你係一個有經驗嘅投資者咧，你俾嗰條題目咧，我就覺得有少少貪心啦。但係問題，如果你係一個 未買過樓嘅人，咁70萬去買層樓俾首期咧，而家係行得通嘅，400幾萬樓咧。如果你係未買過樓嘅，你有兩個優勢嘅。第一個優勢就係你可以用90成按揭保險去做，咁即係話400幾萬你就可以用40萬啦。咁第二就係你要冇其他物業，所以你先唔會有一個即係辣椒太重嘅辣椒稅，係咪先啱啊？咁變咗咧，你就可以用一個第一次入市個兩個優勢，稅務上嘅優勢啦，同埋就係話嗰個按揭上，即係話如果你買樓自住，你係可以借90成按揭保險啦嚇。咁如果你假設你買400萬樓，咁你就可以做到個90成按揭保險。如果超過400萬，就會多咗困難㗎啦，因為多超過400萬你個按揭就可能要俾多一成啊嘛。400萬樓可以買到一啲舊區仲係可以買到一啲即係話2、3線嘅私人樓或者一啲居屋2線嘅居屋單位嘅。咁如果係咁咧，即係話假設你入到場嘅話咧，咁樓價唔係即係5年，即係話5年咯，唔使好大嘅升幅咧，其實就可以有一個即係進帳嘅。咁當然啦，如果你做呢個投資或者呢個方案咧，首先你要自己諗下，你覺得係咪樓價會升咯？首先你要自己諗咗先，因為呢個冇人可以幫你做一個決定。嗱咁樣變咗，如果你覺得樓價會升嘅話，或者你覺得而家係真係好似阿汪講冇乜泡沫嘅話，咁變咗其實樓價唔係升好多，就會有一個類似嘅回報。我睇法係咁啊。
Mr. Jonathan?
What about the 10-cent stock? Yeah. Again, I think it comes down to leverage. If you're looking at 700,000 Hong Kong dollars, I mean, your purchasing power of Hong Kong dollars has never been stronger in many of the currencies that we're looking at. I mean, sterling being one. That will give you, let's just say, a 50% deposit on a property of £150,000, give or take, 1.5 million Hong Kong dollars. Now, if that property over 5 years goes up by 30%, which in many of these northern cities is absolutely the forecast, then you're at the magic number. But again, it's all about the leverage. And I think part of the reason why many of these northern cities in the UK are starting to prosper in the way that they are is that many of the taxes in the UK have changed. So the lower end is now favoured. You are paying less stamp duties on cheaper properties. And again, that's giving the added demand, so that's sort of spurring this end of the market, as well as all the infrastructure projects that we're talking about.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. 我呢度仲有另外一個問題，就係同樣係喺5年之內，我諗佢話只有一注資金，我諗個問題應該意思係就係做一筆投資嘅話咧，喺5年之內應該擺喺香港咧、英國咧，定係中國內地咧？3位可能都要傾下，我諗你哋可能會有啲唔同嘅答案。咁都係同林生開始。
一注獨贏，不如買晒科技股喎。但係冇人知㗎嘛，即係我哋嘅主張好多時就同投資樓市有少少唔同，因為始終首先我哋預計係冇用槓桿啦，冇借錢啦。咁究竟一注或者分幾注，其實對我哋喺我哋嘅角度嚟講咧，其實都係點樣可以穩健去賺取呢個回報咯。中國又好，香港又好，英國又好，點解唔買晒咧？但係其實如果話講翻股市或者純粹睇翻金融資產嚟講咧，我哋的確係比較睇好中國比起其他國家嘅。但係呢個只係股市同債市啊。咁睇下汪生有咩見解？
應該咁睇嘅。其實每個人個機會結構同埋風險結構都唔同。如果 你係未置業嘅，頭先我上一個問題嘅答案已經係即係一個最好，因為點解咧？因為你唔買樓，你都要租樓，你租樓你都係要成本，你都係會有風險面對加租。所以如果你係一個未置業嘅人嚟講咧，你嘅最佳嘅選擇可能係我頭先話個買樓，咁亦可以住得嘅。但係如果你係已經有物業嘅，咁你可能你就要諗，你是否應該有一個更好嘅投資組合？咁如果用呢個角度去睇咧，你就似乎係應該用買股票去做一個即係好嘅投資組合去做。頭先我講第一節嘅時候亦講過，如果你個處境係儲緊錢買樓，又未買得住，你嘅投資組合就應該係房產信託基金，因為你儲錢嘅目的係想買樓，如果樓價升到你儲錢追唔切嘅時候，咁即係話房產信託基金會升啦，咁你就可以做咗個套戥啦。咁即係呢個就係未買樓嘅人嘅投資組合。咁即係每個人嗰個風險同埋機會結構都唔同。如果我係一個遊走珠三角，講做返工或者做生意，經常遊走兩面嘅時候，喺我嚟講，我當然係買我內地未有物業，我就應該買內地嘅大站嘅樓啦。即係呢個係一個所以我都會曾經諗過買倫敦樓嘅，因為我兩個仔喺倫敦讀書啊嘛。咁我會覺得即係呢個係一個即係每個人嘅風險同機會結構唔同。即係我就即係做一啲舉例，好睇睇。
I think it's quite an interesting question because the world has changed in the last sort of 5-10 years. We live in a globalized world now. And what I mean by that is that if you're investing in one market, it doesn't mean to say that you are affected by that one market alone. I mean, going back to this Belt and Road Initiative, buying property in Africa or UK or parts of Europe that are all going to be affected by these sorts of tentacles that are coming out from the mainland there, and I mean that in a positive sense. There are ways to get exposure to all sorts of different scenarios. Now, I would say that probably for most of us, investing in mainland China is quite a risky exercise, both in terms of the currency, getting money in and out, and just the overall transparency of it. No question people are and continue to make huge amounts of money there, but it's less than straightforward from the outside in. But if you are going to invest in somewhere like the UK, for example, and you know that China is investing in infrastructure projects to fuel the growth in a certain area, well, you're investing in the UK where the environment is very regulated and structured, but you're getting the benefit from $5 trillion of investment, not purely $5 trillion, but the effects of the whole Belt and Road policy. So I think it's smart to try and combine the two, look at areas where China is investing, looking at these infrastructure projects, and also trying to benefit from a local market alongside that.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. 咁而家下邊仲有冇問題係舉手喺嗰邊？唔該，俾一個。最後一個問題咧，因為我哋嘅時間已經有限啦。
我想問汪生。汪生想問咧，其實之前聽到啲節目咧講緊居屋嗰度啦，其實去到601㗎啦。咁佢而家講緊啲屯門咧，你啲樓其實而家係行緊602定601個模式啊？同埋阿林鄭今次個施政報告咧個首置盤嗰度咧，嚟緊呢幾年會唔會拖低嘅租金回報？咁講。
我哋6月嘅時候就發表個話樓價會 正係鞏固緊，即係話事實上咧就曾經跌過，即係微調過幾個2個禮拜，3、4個禮拜度，咁曾經調整咗幾個%度啦。咁而家係上翻嘅，咁但係問題就係話我哋今朝開會都喺度傾緊，究竟去完咗個調整未咧？我哋多啲完咗調整，但係又未去到董事一期咯。咁即係我哋有其他文章，你都可以即係參考下嘅。咁只係話我講翻個施政報告啦。施政報告我會睇法就佢係即係當然，我認為佢做得好好嘅嗰個施政報告，因為事實上咧，我哋而家係冇地。佢做得好，我哋唔可以變咗有地。成份施政報告，我哋見唔到有任何新嘅供應出嘅，即係話所有嘅都已經係土地表裏邊已經報咗出嚟嘅。咁呢個係最令人失望嘅地方。咁即係話咧，就即係話人哋俾一沓期票你，咁你第一諗你信唔信啦？好啦，咁就如果你信，我都信，不過信佢都係期票，即係話咁即係話咧。冇咁快兌現嘅，我認為林鄭呢個政策未發生效用之前，香港地產會尤其住宅市場仍然會有可觀嘅升幅。咁我對林鄭任內即係2屆任內解決或者放緩樓價，我係有信心嘅。不過恐怕係6、7年後嘅事咯，即係唔係話做得唔好，而係事實上我哋即係話供應太落後於我哋嘅財富增值。唔好講 M3 嚟啦，我哋連香港人嘅財富增值都係遠快過即係話土地供應。咁呢個嘢係好不利嘅，即係唔買樓嘅風險咧。仍然係好高過買樓